So just a couple quick intros before we get into the question. So Bill Edwards, Senior Investment Advisor of Swiss Business Hub Canada, and Andrew Leaman, VP of Fire and Defense Solutions of Long & Vision Corp. We're going to chat more about the connection between the two of you and just why you're both up here to talk to us. But Bill, we'll start with you. First question. So what is your role at Swiss Business Hub Canada?
Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2. Okay, because it really doesn't sound like I'm that loud.
Eat the mic.
Eat the mic.
Eat the mic.
So I'm coming from the Swiss Business Hub in Canada, and that may be a completely new organization to many people here. So the best I can explain it is think about the Trade Commissioner services on your Canadian side. We're the Swiss version of that. So I'm helping Canadian companies make informed decisions when they're looking at Europe for international expansion. I'm basically a service to provide introductions, to make connections, and to make sure that they're making the best decisions. So we're actually here tonight with Andrew, who has been making good use of our services, and he'll go a little bit more into that later.
And I'm sure some of you may have noticed I was wearing a helmet when I got my photo taken with all the speakers. There's a reason the helmet's actually going around, so I would encourage everyone to try it on if they're curious. But you'll probably be better at explaining what it is than me, so why don't you explain the product and the business overall for everyone?
Yeah. How much do I eat? I don't. Is it ice cream? So yeah, my name's Andrew. I've been given a script. I'll try to stick to it. It probably won't happen. So I am part of Long & Vision. We make augmented reality for dangerous environments. If you should not go there, we go there. We help save lives. So if you're there, thank us later. So what you're seeing kind of going around is actually the Fusion Vision system. It is thermal imaging combined with augmented reality to help firefighters in dangerous environments. This is actually partially funded by the Canadian government. So if anyone's worried about your taxes, that's where it's going. It's been about 5 years altogether. And so numerous fire tests all over the world, Japan, South Korea, Switzerland. It actually has a nice Swiss charred smell to it. And so, yeah, no, I'm not kidding, I have photos. So what we're doing is helping save lives. That's what we're doing, and so that's why we're also here to communicate that.
And Bill, I know you're here to talk about why businesses should be interested in Switzerland, so maybe you can share why that is, why you think they should be interested.
Okay, so first question, a raise of hands. Who has been to Switzerland? That's a good number. Give yourself a round of applause. And for those who have been and those who haven't been, you can kind of shout out maybe some things that you might think about when you think Switzerland or what you experienced.
Skiing.
Cheese. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of cheese. I like cheese too. Skiing, army knife, chocolate. So Switzerland's a lot more than that. You know that wonderful technology, that new thing that came out like last week, the internet? It was invented in Switzerland. Siri was invented in Switzerland. In 1988, so like before a lot of people here were born, there was a center focused on AI research in Lugano in Switzerland. Switzerland is, for the 12th year running, the most innovative country in the world, and it really is open for business. It's a country focused on pragmatism and just making sure that everything can be smooth and can make the best result in the most effective way possible.
Those all sound like very interesting things, but Andrew, what was specifically interesting about Switzerland to you and to your business?
They did have a lot of cheese. There is a lot of cheese there. And it's really good, really, really good. What was most fascinating was actually the Swiss came to us. So the Swiss firefighters have actually been searching for this technology for about 10 years. And so for us, it was actually really cool to see a country, not just like one department, but an actual country full of innovative groups looking for our technology. And so, like, being able to find that, and I don't want to say exploit. Exploit's a bad word. What's a good word?
Be friends with.
Thank you. Okay, so not the American way of exploiting. Okay, I got it. Yeah, no, it's really, really cool because as startups here, everyone here has a problem, right? We need customers. So when a customer finds you, and they represent a nation, that's pretty important, right? Especially when it's a small nation. So that's what was really interesting for us.
And a follow-up question, how have they, in other ways, been able to help you?
I ask dumb questions a lot. and they answer them, and it's really, really helpful. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
No dumb question.
I can go back through the emails. There's some pretty dumb ones. I asked where the Matterhorn was. So what? I want to know. But it is critical, right? So if you've got questions, you need someone to answer them, right? And if you're a startup, sometimes you don't ask all those questions to your customer, right? You want to look professional, you want to look like you know everything. Having that resource to ask those additional questions is really, really critical. And again, we're a startup, right? We kind of skip the line in a way, right? You know, we're expanding into another country, we need that help. So what they provided was a lot of resources to help us navigate that, and that's really, really critical. And the other one is connections. So if you know someone who knows someone, you know the game, you've heard it like 4 times tonight, they help you, right? There's a vetting process. So we made our own introductions, and I didn't get emails back until I was on the plane, so I didn't have those meetings. Introductions through Bill help speed up the process, right? All of a sudden, I have 20 meetings. The next time I have to go back, and I can't meet any of them because they all want to meet. That's the power of one person or one organization helping, right? So it's been a really big, big help.
And Bill, are there specific areas of technology that Switzerland is focusing on? One of them already has come up many times, but what are maybe some of the ones you're focusing on?
Well, I guess going back again, your experiences in Switzerland, but Switzerland isn't like Canada with lots of natural resources. So it's a country that's always been using its mind, these beautiful watches that I can't afford, and other wonderful things. But they've merged this into a tech focus. These tech sectors include artificial intelligence, of course, along with fintech, personalized health services, also on top of that, robotics and advanced manufacturing. So they've really put a focus on this nationwide, as people have always used their minds as their natural resource.
And so what, Andrew, this one is for you. What specifically were you noticing in terms of innovation, and how did it differ from Canada?
Yeah, so I'll kind of just 2-3 parts. The first one is firefighters. Does anyone here know a firefighter, is a firefighter? That's good, that's good. Okay, you guys need to go become volunteer firefighters. So in the words of a few of my American friends, and this is a quote, Swiss firefighters are 80 years ahead of the Americans in training and tactics, and I got to see that firsthand. And so knowing that they want our technology just is an extra piece of leverage, right? It's that extra piece of, wow, this is considered one of the best groups in the world, and they want our technology. That's kind of that's a feel-good moment, right? And the next thing is again, the Swiss put a lot of money into their equipment. So if you go into Zug Fire Department, for example, they have fire trucks that can help pump water 7 kilometers away. Maybe 8, I'm not sure. It was a lot. They have more than enough equipment, and they're a city of 40,000?
About, yeah.
And they can help support into Zurich, into Lucerne, everywhere, right? They have set up to be sure that they can help save lives. The other side of it was just the other business groups, right? Whether they were the economic development agencies that you helped introduce to, the innovation areas. Again, as a company, we're looking at when our first contract that we're hoping gets signed sometime soon is actually there. That's great. We need a footprint. It's 8-hour flight away, right? And so we're already talking with those innovation centers, those groups, to try and get an office, because once that first one's going, there's going to be another department, and then all of a sudden I've got 100 units in a different country. And so Switzerland has been really kind in like showcasing, hey, we can help you with this, we can help you with this. And by the way, here's all this research that we're really good at. Here's all these different things, whether augmented reality, thermal imaging, fire tactics, and such. And so we got to see a lot of that, and from our perspective as a research company, first and foremost, it's really beneficial that we know that when we go there, we can get the same support, and it will help balance, and then we can bring that back to North America as well to kind of help us get maybe 60 years off that number.
How did you find the process of meeting with the economic development agencies overall?
Really, really easy, and they're really, really friendly, and they really like to call you, and they call you until you say no. They're wonderful. They're wonderful. They really are. And of course, there's a lot of groups that were either in Switzerland or they were here. And so again, some of them were very quick in-person meetings where just went, for example, went to Basel and had like a 3-hour session with them and just a chat. Another one going to Zug area, wasn't able to meet them, but the next day all of a sudden I found myself in Aarau, having a great conversation. So very flexible, very easygoing, and again, they understood who we are. We're a startup. We're moving into scaling. We're on that hockey stick, right? We've just taped the hockey stick, right? So they were able to kind of discern that and work with us.
And Bill, just tell us a bit about what it's like doing business in Switzerland, why it's attractive.
Well, I think Andrew's really made it easy for me right here, because when people often think about government bodies overseas doing international business, they think bureaucracy, complicated, phone calls, no one to talk to. If you go onto any one of our websites for any one of our cantons, and just going back, we're saying canton a lot. Canton is like a province. There's 26 of them in Switzerland. Switzerland is unfortunately only half the size of Nova Scotia, so it's a lot of people. But you have people to talk to. You have people to meet with. Within, I think it was just about a week, Andrew had meetings scheduled for 10 days with different economic authorities, accelerators, startup centers that are all ready to work with you. And I'm based in Montreal. I'm regularly coming to Toronto. We have Stefan, our head of the business hub, as well, and we also collaborate with the local atmosphere here in Toronto. So I welcome you to reach out to me. I guess everyone's all over LinkedIn and all these new internet things tonight. Happy to engage in conversation and help you in any way I can.
Andrew, last question. So we named a few reasons why we like Switzerland: skiing, cheese, etc. But why else should businesses consider Switzerland, especially Canadian businesses?
Okay, I have 5 points, but I'm going to add a 6 because you gave me an idea. So number one, it's the center of Europe. It's pretty simple. It's a gateway, right? It is the center of Western Europe. You get in there, you're set to expand either into Germany, France, Italy if you want. It's open innovation, new ideas. So they're an early adopter culture. Early adopter culture. If you have something that you think is really cool and you have zero traction in Canada, go to Switzerland or New Zealand. Research, if you need R&D, do it. Like they have, how much IP do you guys crank out a year?
A lot. I don't have a number for you, but a lot.
It's in the hundreds. Like there's a lot of IP comes out of Switzerland. So if you are an R&D heavy focused company, look into it. So I'm trying to steal this marketing thing. Swiss approved, not Swiss made. So if it's Swiss approved, it's a marketing standard, right? If you can say, I have something in this area, in this continent, you have one of the highest quality areas on the planet saying your stuff is good. We trust it. And then fondue. So that extra point is, as a business, it's kind of difficult, right, to go around different places. So my job is actually to go around the world. That's what I do to promote our stuff, and it's expensive and tiring. You can go to Switzerland for $2,500 Canadian for over a week. That includes the air ticket, the hotel stay, and the wonderful train pass. And you could hit almost every canton if that's what you want to do. Like, I'm serious. Like, if you really want to mix some travel with pleasure and do this stuff with business, look into it. Switzerland offers you that opportunity that we don't get here. So
Awesome. Bill, Andrew, thank you. Round of applause for our guests. Questions? Might only have time for 1 or 2 questions, so raise your hand. First hand that Jason sees, he will bring a mic to. Any questions?
I see a hand.
So, how did you go about actually testing your helmets to make sure they actually work? Like, did they have to be? Did you take them in the fires? Did you give them the firefighters? This I want to know about this customer development.
okay, so I have a photo. Since y'all Canadian, so we know this. 777 Celsius is the highest recorded temperature we have, and that device was in it. You can actually see the melting on some of the housing pieces. So a lot of the testing we've done over years, right, is different component testing, different things, whether it's been through an oven, whether through a fire, whether driving our truck over it just because I wanted to. We have done it all, like going through Arizona, going through Japan. We've beaten the crap out of it because if you know a firefighter, they'll use it as a hammer. Like, okay, like this is what they do. They're saving your life. They don't have time to think, right? So, yeah, if you want to like come up to a fire test, blow something up.
I'd love to send Alex to a fire test. Can you keep him in there?
I mean, does he owe you money? Like,
All right, thank you so much, everybody.
where did the device go?
Oh, we know who has the helmet?
Kiara, can you get the device, please?
Awesome, we get a round of applause. All right.